We'll describe how I installed a VHF radio into a Honda ATV or a UTV, like a utility terrain vehicle or all-terrain vehicle. So it's a small side-by-side or buggy, depends of who you talk to. They have different descriptions for it. And here is the way I installed the radio using two pipe clamps and installed into this structural bar. So it's pretty basic. I try to use different type of clamping system, but everything looks kind of ugly, and this is the cheapest and the fastest method using this type of pipe clamps through the bracket. And of course you have a very rare chance to install or work on this type of vehicles, or kind of a specialty items. But I installed a microphone here in a very sturdy steel plate, so I don't drill anything in a structural part of the car, so you preserve the integrity of the machine. So again, no holes, nothing drilled into this machine. So that's the radio, which is again easy. I installed the antenna on the front, kind of a bush bar. Why? Because they keep this car into a garage, and when they try to get out, they would bang the antenna into the garage door, or also when they go in the bushes, in a forest, and a very dense forest, because this is a specialty vehicle that helps to rescue people. They don't want the antenna to get grabbed by the trees and bushes and stuff like that. So here the antenna is a bit more protected. It's not the best way, so it depends who drives the vehicle. But I used a mirror type of mount a bracket, which comes as a kit, and I ran the cable to a protected type of loom. It's a split loom, and I run it inside the machine next to some other cables, and ends up through the console here and goes to the radio. And now the fuses are under this front panel, so I tap this one to the auxiliary fuse, or sort of ignition type of fuse. So it is going to be a switched circuit. So that's the fuse box, in case you are wondering where the fuses are located to this machine. And I run the ground here to the chassis, and I use some specialty conductive grease, because this machine goes in the water all the times, crosses streams and other water bodies, and I didn't want corrosion on any parts of the fuse, and I use lots of tape on the other fuse. So this is the ground fuse. I'm not concerned if it gets some rust over the years. The antenna is grounded, so we don't want to rely on a ground part of the antenna as a grounding return pad for the radio power. You don't want to do that. So you could use some tape on the ground connected fuse, or you can go straight to the ground if you want to bypass that fuse. I use it if I can. And I have another power fuse behind this fuse box, so I'm just showing you where the fuse is. But if you want the radio to be connected straight to the battery, I'll show you where the battery is. So to access the battery compartment, you just lift the seat, you remove the seat. The front seat I'm talking about. And there is some sort of a rubber cover here. You just have to peel it, lift it, and now you have access to some battery connection. And you see a little tiny battery there, and with a battery post and a positive and a negative. And negative is connected to the chassis, in case you want to tap out the electronics to the chassis. It's grounded. And again, positive of the battery in case you want to connect your auxiliary items to straight to the battery power. So that's the location of the battery on this buggy. Okay, so it's called Pioneer 4, made by Honda, and I hope it will help curious minds who have access to this type of machines, used for fun, or in this case is used for rescuing people getting stranded in wrong places, wrong time. You take care of yourself. Bye bye.